y'all. Welcome back to my channel, or if you are new, welcome to my channel. This is Heather's Country Crochet and More. I'm Heather, where I talk about all of my crafty adventures. So today we have quite a bit to talk about. I have some finished objects, some whips, I have one acquisition, but it is a pre-2024 acquisition. I have my end of year of 2023 stats. I have some new things to talk about. So yeah. Also, I want to say that if you are interested, you can also find me on Ravelry, Instagram, and Etsy. All of the links of which all of those will be linked in the description box below, as well as all of the show notes for this podcast. So the first thing is I want to talk about the make-along that I'm hosting through February 29th using the hashtag #FinishOldWhips2024, where we're just crafting together with whatever craft we want, finishing up any old whips that did not get completed, before 2024. So I actually have my two finished objects that I'm going to be showing today are two whips that were carried over into the year, so they will count towards this MAL. And I have not posted them on Instagram with the hashtag yet, but I'm going to be doing that very soon. Also, something that I wanted to touch about is Tuesday we had a horrible storm come through, and I am not about bad weather. It makes my anxiety and my nerves and my blood pressure and everything go outrageous. There were tornadoes and high-powered winds and rain and thunder and lightning, and yeah, so I was frantic. It did quite a bit of damage to some areas very near me. However, my family and I were very lucky. We were not in an area that took any of that damage. We were in a clear zone. However, I did have a really huge scare. One of the tornadoes was taking a path that was leading up like directly to my house, and I was freaking out, and it turned and went another direction. However, I think it more or less dissipated before it turned and went that direction. It was just, they were still tracking like the rotation of it or whatever. So it was still like considered debris or whatever. I don't know how that stuff works, but anyways, that was some scary business for me Tuesday. And now it is looking like we're gonna have some more coming Friday. So, not looking forward to that. The weather Tuesday started while it was still dark. So not only do I hate bad weather, but I really hate it when it is going on while it is dark, because I cannot see what's going on. So that makes me even more like frantic. However, the storm Friday is supposed to be during the day. But some of the storm Tuesday was during the day, but I was still crazy. But I'm not looking forward to the bad weather for Friday. And when any storm goes on at night, I lose sleep, because I cannot sleep while there's bad weather going on. But yeah, so, but anyways, my family and I are praying for all of those who did take damage, and all of the ones who, you know, were injured, or, sad to say, lost their lives due to these storms. You know, our prayers go out to all of those and their families. Yeah. So getting into my end of year stats for 2023. I completed 29 total projects. Now, some of these projects were projects that were old whips from years before, like the previous year or something. But I count them as completed projects for last year, because I completed them during 2023. So, I had 19 knit projects and 10 crochet projects. Nice, get out of that blanket. So anyway, 9 projects were blankets, 2 projects were hats. Get out from over there. Stop messing with stuff. Why you gotta be so nosy? I did 14 pairs of socks, 2 garments, 1 pair of fingerless mitts, and 1 accessory, which was a bag. So, I feel like I did pretty good for the year of 2023 as far as my projects. I would have liked to have completed more than that. However, while I was working the outage, that kind of set me back some, because I wasn't able to really work on any projects while I was working out there for the outage. So, I did set a goal for 2024 that I'm hoping to have. This may be a little unrealistic, but my 2024 completed project goal is 40 projects. And if you watched my last video, you'll know that I actually made a make 9 list this year. So we shall see what gets done. You'll have to follow along with me throughout the year to see if I actually get any of these goals. Speaking of goals, I have some 2024 goals that I have not really talked about in any previous videos yet. So, one being that I only buy yarn for specific projects. Otherwise, make strictly from my stash that I already have. Of course, my monthly subscriptions are an exception because they're a subscription. I'm gonna get those regardless. I want to start completing projects without getting sidetracked and starting new projects or more projects. I have a tendency to see something that I like and get sidetracked and start too many, hence why I have so many whips that are from previous years that have not been finished. I also, I want to make one pair of socks each month for my dad for a Christmas present for next year. So, for Christmas next year, when he opens his gift, he'll have 12 pair of socks. I don't know how realistic that is gonna work out. You know, we'll see. I may not get all 12 pair. I don't know. Okay, so yeah, I want to make my dad 12 pairs of socks for Christmas next year, but I don't know if I'll get a complete 12 pair made. However, I do want to focus more on getting my this is a separate goal. I want to make my Christmas gifts throughout the year more instead of waiting until December to try to get them all done, because I want to, you know, be able to have more time during the month of December and Advents and Vlogmas and all of that to work on something that I actually want to work on for, you know, like with my Advents or something like that, instead of having to focus solely on gift knits. And plus I want to be able to make my gift knits be something other than just socks, even though I know I literally just said that I wanted to be able to make my dad 12 pair of socks for Christmas, but I do plan to try to make him a sweater. So we'll see how this goes. I don't know if this is a realistic goal or not, but I hope to be able to get my channel to 1,000 subscribers this year. This is going on my 3rd year on YouTube, and I am just, I think, just over, like, I need like 456, maybe something like that, subscribers to reach that 1,000 subscriber goal. So hopefully I'll be able to hit that. We'll see. If you want to help me hit that, share my videos, like them. That helps me out so much, to be able to get my videos seen more by other people so that they can watch them and be subscribers. My last goal for 2024 is to try to complete my Make 9. I don't know if I will be able to do all 9 projects. Actually, one of the projects on my Make 9 list is actually a project that I'm going to be making 3 of. So it's really more like a make 11 or 12, I don't know. Yeah, make 11, because that one project would count 3 times instead of just once, so 2 extra times. But so that is everything for my end of year stats and my 2024 goals. So next we will move on to my finished objects. So my first finished object of 2024 is my countdown to New Year's blanket. Now, I have not woven all of the ends yet, and I have not blocked it yet, but I did complete the knitting on it. So I'm gonna try to stand up so that y'all can see it. However, I don't know. This is weird to try to do it like this. Okay, so it's a lot bigger than I thought it was gonna be. I really wanted to try and knit that the way that it was supposed to be knit, like 1 stripe a day. However, I was not able to keep up with it during the month of December because of my other obligations to my gift knits and things. So I did not get to complete it until January 1st. I was really trying to get it finished by midnight on New Year's Eve. And I got, I think, all but 2 stripes done by midnight on New Year's Eve. So because I still had 2 full stripes and the bottom border section of it, I did not want to consider it as a finished object for 2023. So I just, I finished it on January 1st. So saying that it is a complete, my first completed object of 2024. So my second finished object of 2024 is my Christmas Eve cast on socks. So here are, and it really is amazing to me how different these 2 socks look, considering they came out of the same exact skein of yarn, because this one is a lot more speckled and this one is lighter speckled. You would think that it came from 2 completely different hanks of yarn or something, but I don't care. I still love them. They turned out wonderful. They are awesome, beautiful, and I love them. I knit these on 9-inch circulars, just a vanilla pattern. However, I did do a twisted rib for the cuff, a 1x1 rib. I used a 2.25 millimeter needle to knit these. That is the size needle that I knit all my socks on. However, I think I'm gonna have to go to like a 2.5 millimeter to knit my sister's socks when I knit her socks. But anyway, the yarn for this was Hypnotic yarn in the Warm Country Christmas colorway, and it was their Christmas Eve cast on box that I got. So they're so pretty. I just love them. So that brings us to the next thing, which is my Janie Joggers test knit that I am test knitting for Briana Lupino, aka the Little Wolf Knits. And y'all, I have been knitting my heart out on these. So the last that I showed y'all, I had like, what, that much done probably. Let me stand up again, because check these out. So I have one full leg completed. I am almost finished with the second leg. Now, let me just tell y'all, these little buggers have been so stressful to me. Okay, so I knit all of the increases that the pattern called for the like the body part up here, or the hip, whatever. And then I had to rip back out like half of them. Okay, so when I went to try to pick up the stitches after I ripped back, I lost some stitches. So I ended up having to rip it all the way back to the waistline and basically start over from the waistline. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to be able to finish this because of these issues. So I've just been knitting like crazy on these things, trying to get them finished. It has been a very crazy but fun experience trying to knit these pants. So I'm very short-waisted, and I'm also very short-legged. And so these are not blocked, by the way, okay? But I'm also shaped very funny. So as you can see, the shape of this leg here, and it looks like they're really short, but when you put them on, they stretch out so much. They look really good so far when I have them on. However, like I said, they do look a little funny when they're not on. But I'm really having fun knitting this. Like I said, I'm almost finished with the leg. I have this much left of my second skein of yarn. And I was really hoping that I was going to be able to finish that leg without having to break into another skein of yarn. But I think I'm going to have to, because I just don't think that's going to be enough. The lower part of the leg, which is the part that I'm on now, it does take me a little longer to work on it, because I'm having to do it magic loop like I would like a sleeve or something. And I can't stand knitting magic loop style. I would rather just have a circular needle that was the size that I need, so that I can just knit. And I don't have one that is the right needle size and the right circumference to be able to knit it for this leg. And it is just getting on my nerves. I'm so ready to be, I love these pants, and I know that I'm going to love the look of them when they're finished. And they're going to be really warm. However, I am so ready for these to just be finished. I'm so ready. I'm over it. I'm just over it. Yeah. Okay, so my next active whip is my Musselburgh hat that I have been knitting for my dad. And I have gotten quite a bit done on this thing since the last video. So here was where I was on the last video. So I've knit that much, y'all, since the last video. I'm actually in the decreases. I've just started the decreases here. So, yeah, all I like on here being finished is the decreases. So, so just a little update on this in case, you know, I was knitting, or I am knitting this with the Yarnable colorway Mossy Hollow, and Yarnable is the monthly subscription that I get from Hypnotic Yarn. So yeah, and that is a pattern by Isolde Teague, in case you did not know. Now a very, very near future new cast on. My son just got home from work, so my dogs are barking. But a very, very near future new cast on that I will be starting, and there's a story behind this too, is going to be a new test knit. Now, I actually applied for this test knit in December during Vlogmas. So, but after this test knit, I'm going to really try hard not to apply for any more test knits, because I want to be able to really focus on these projects, y'all. But I am going to be test knitting the Mill Hollow Shawlette by Emily Clausen from Salt City Knits, and she is on YouTube. She has a YouTube channel, and I'm going to be using this color that I dyed. It is a one skein project. This is a color that, or this is actually just a skein of yarn that I was using to soak up like extra yarn when I was dyeing my advents. So it's like a one-of-a-kind color, but it's a skein that I had that I thought turned out really pretty, even though it was just like soaking up all of the extras. It's a nice tonal, so I think it'll be really pretty in this shawlette. So this is what I'm going to use when I cast it on, and I'm actually really excited. I'm probably going to cast it on Friday. So hopefully if I cast it on Friday and I'm focused on it, because it is a nice lace pattern, and I'm focused on the lace pattern and, you know, like the charts and everything, hopefully it will help keep my mind off of the bad weather that is supposed to be coming Friday. So yeah. My next whip focus points are going to be my Whitmore sweater, my pink and gray sock that is, it was just a plain vanilla sock that I was knitting, and I got finished with one full sock, and I only have one full sock left to do. It was from the Cascade Heritage Yarns, but once I actually actively start knitting on those, I'll be showing them on the podcast again. And my long summer cardigan is the last one. Those are the next 3 in my list that I'm going to be actively working on. Those are, like I said, those are old whips, and that they'll go into the make along, you know, that I'm hosting. They will qualify for it. So I have one acquisition, and this is not a yarn that I bought this year. This was a yarn that I had ordered actually before Christmas, but it didn't make it here before Christmas. And if you watched my last podcast, you probably remember me talking about it. But this was it was a Christmas yarn, and it is from Blush Yarns. It actually did make it before New Year's, but I have not had a chance to show it yet because I wanted to wait until I was actually doing a podcast episode. But it is a finger in weight, 4-ply, 75-25, 100 grams. And I really actually thought that it wasn't going to be like an in-your-face Christmas color, but it actually kind of is. It looked a little different on the picture, I think. So, but it's okay. No problem. I still like it, and I'll probably knit it up next December, maybe, if I stick to all of my goals. So, reading and watching, so because I've been really focused on trying to get this test knit done, I have not really had a lot of time to read. So I'm still on the same 2 books that I've been reading. The Claus on my Kindle app, and A Quart of Thorns and Roses, like paperback. Watching, I finished the show Dr. Death that I talked about last podcast. I had not actually started it last podcast, but y'all, I watched this show in like 3 days, I think. There's 2 seasons, and I watched it in like 3 days while I was knitting on my test knit. So this show, y'all, actually turns out to be based on a true story. There's 2 different seasons, and each season is about a different doctor. So it's about doctors that have, like, in the first season, the first doctor, he's like killing people, like on purpose. And then the second season, this doctor is like experimenting on people with these like fake parts. But they've never been, he's already like putting them in people before they've ever even been like tested in a lab and stuff. It is crazy. I did not know that stuff like that happened in real life, but these are based on true stories, y'all. So if you have not watched it and you're into that kind of thing, definitely recommend you watch it. I also started watching The Good Doctor, And if you don't know what The Good Doctor is, it is about a man who is autistic, and he is a surgeon. He becomes a surgeon, and he's going through his surgical residency and things. I have only gotten to, I think, the 4th season. I think I'm to the 4th season. I've been watching it like crazy too. I can't remember if there's 5 or 6 seasons of it. But I think I just recently, like yesterday or the day before, started the 4th season of it. So, but yeah, it's really, really good. It's very interesting. Very interesting. So if you haven't watched that, I definitely recommend that. It's sad. I cry like every episode. Some of it's not always sad. Some of it's like glad kind of crying or whatever. But some of it is sad. So, but yeah, it's really, really good. I like it. So yeah, that is everything that I have for today. If you have any questions, comments, any advice on anything that I have talked about, please leave your comment in the comment section below. I would really, really love to read it. Also, if you have questions, ask me some questions down there, and I can answer them on the next podcast. Also, I don't know when exactly, but if as long as we have people who decide to participate in the make along, we're gonna have some giveaways. I don't think at the time of this making that there's been any one post on Instagram with the hashtag yet, but so we'll see how that goes. So yeah, if you finish an old whip and you post it over on Instagram and you use that hashtag FinishOldWhips2024, you can be entered to win a giveaway when I do one on here. I don't know when yet. Like I said, it just depends on if anybody participates or not. So, yeah. So that's everything for this episode. And thank you for watching. And I hope everybody has very great making time and lots of making time. And I will see y'all next episode. Bye.